Come closer. Stefon Diggs doesn't want revenge. He wants a win.
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work, work. That's what you say. Hard work, work, work. Earn my pay. Hard work, work. Hard work. Do it every day. Hard work, work. Get up out of quarter to three. Hard work, work. Let me go and earn my pay. Hard work, work. Boots on and lace.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? You're tuning into the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Make sure you follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. Because you know we do everything for the gram. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel at Big Sarge Media. Woo-wee. Good morning, y'all. Dang. So listen, I got an announcement to make, right? So starting next week, right? Starting next week, for those of you all who are watching this show, I want to say, starting next week. So y'all know I normally do the shows. I try to do the shows Monday through Friday in between 9:30 10 o'clock, right? 10 o'clock-ish. So starting next week on Thursday, it will be the happy hour edition because I get my hair cut every Thursday at 9 a.m. And so it's hard for me to do a show. And I don't want to do an earlier show. I could do a show like at 7:30 in the morning, but that's entirely too early. You know, people aren't up as early as I am. I'm up every day at 9. I'm up every day at 3:01 a.m. Like literally 3:01 a.m. And so I'm up that early to get myself going, to get myself to the gym on time, to get back on time to walk my wife to the car and make sure that she has breakfast. And so everybody's not up as early as I am. So that's why I try to do the show in between 9:30, 10 a.m. But on Thursdays, it's hard for me to do it because I go to during the NFL season, I go get my hair cut every Thursday because I gotta look good for Sunday. I gotta go. Listen, I'm not showing up to a game looking raggedy. No, 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 no. Games are on Sunday. I get my hair cut on Thursday. I still look good by Sunday. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, hey, and I got good hair. Let me take this thing. Now look, the hair might look a little bad because I got this hat on. Boy, I take this hat off. Look at that. I still got a hairline. Y'all see that? Oh, look at that. Yeah, your boy got waves too now. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. And look, this is with my hair. I intentionally let my hair grow out like this because once I cut it back down, that wave pattern will be like right there. And I don't use no do-rag because I can't sleep in. If I can't sleep with nothing, on my head. You talking to a person who can't sleep with socks on. And my wife is perfectly fine sleeping with socks on when you're getting your hair cut when we play on Thursday night. So you're talking about the Thursday night game, October 31st. So I'll get my hair cut on Tuesday. Tuesday. Hey, DJ Bienemy from ESPN say every time I say Tuesday, I sound like I'm from Baltimore. Tuesday. So anyway, Thursdays you'll get a afternoon show. So I will do a happy hour starting next week on Thursdays, and then of course when the Texans play the Jets. They play the New York Jets October 31st, which is Halloween. They played them on that day, so I will still be able to give you a morning show from the hotel. Oh yeah. Yeah. Listen, when I said that I was going to give you all consistency, I meant it. I meant consistency. And that's why I try to make sure that I'm here at Monday through Friday at least, and then on Sundays, of course, you get the post game reaction. Then you get a pre-game video and a post game reaction. And now that I am officially the co-host of Locked On Texans podcast, you'll be able to hear John Hickman and myself daily as well. And so for you Texans fans, y'all getting a heavy dose of Big Sarge, and that's a good thing. That is a good thing. All right, let me go ahead and start the show. But before I start, hey, look, I got to read y'all something. Let me read y'all something real quick. Hold on. What happened to it? Oh, here we go. Right here. Did I close? Oh, no, it's right here. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Let me share my screen with you all real quick. Let me share my screen. Y'all got to see this before we start, because y'all got to see this BS right here, y'all. Y'all got to see this. Here we go. Y'all see this? Investigators raid office of Atlanta top veneer specialist accused of being a fake dentist. He calls himself Atlanta's top veneer specialist, but the Fulton County District Attorney says Brandon Dillard has been practicing dentistry and medicine for years without a license. Brandon Dillard is not a dentist. He's never been a dentist and never been a dentist. And as much as he may want to play one on Instagram, he is not, said Fulton County Deputy District Attorney Will Wooten. District Attorney investigators and Atlanta police raided the Northeast Atlanta offices of A-List Smiles Atlanta on Thursday. So, y'all see that? I'm gonna read that one more time. Investigators raid office of Atlanta's top veneer specialist accused of being a fake dentist. You know what's so crazy about it? What's so crazy about the whole thing is that he never ever said that he was a dentist. Go look. He never ever said that he was a dentist. He said that he's in training. So, my question is, who in the hell letting somebody who don't have when you walk in the office and you don't see credentials, like, hey, bro, that don't, and he don't take your insurance. He can't take your insurance. He get paid by cash only. Cash app, Venmo, Zelle, probably weed. Like, you could probably give him a couple of sacks and he'll probably be like, yeah, appreciate that. For medicinal uses only. Who in the hell is going to a fake dentist? Well, I'm sorry, a dentist in training that don't take your insurance. Only say, y'all knew what y'all was getting yourself into. Oh, y'all got to go look at the comments. Y'all look it up, and y'all got to look at the comments. People talking about, oh, y'all found y'all dentist on Temu. Then people start complaining, talking about, yeah, I went to get veneers done from him, and then my breath starts smelling like boo-boo. Because I don't feel like cussing today. I don't want YouTube to go ahead and, mark me off. Said my breath started smelling like boo-boo. It's because you went to a fake, you went to an office for a guy who, excuse me. Are y'all crazy? Are you crazy? You think, listen, I'm not letting nobody without multiple credentials do any type of work on my teeth at all, period. I'm not letting anybody work on my eyes, work on my body without, you need credentials. I gotta see credentials. Listen, I just made an optometrist appointment for my wife and I, right? I just made that optometry appointment. I know that the optometrist that we're going to, I know he's real. You know why? Because he's my frat brother. One, he's my frat brother. Two, I know that he graduated from the School of Optometry from the University of Houston. Three, even though I know all of that, even though I know my frat brother wouldn't do me like that, because he's my frat brother and my chapter brother. Shout out to the Eta Gamma chapter, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Hey, Phi! Even though I know that, even though I brought him into the fraternity, even though I know he graduated from the University of Houston, you know what I looked for the first time I went to him? Hey, man, that degree looks really nice, brother. Congratulations. I love him to death. I still had to check. Y'all around here getting veneers from a guy that's in training. I don't want my dentist all over, my dentist or my fake dentist or my dentist in training. I don't want him in. You think I'm trying to find him on Instagram? They said that when he was doing the work, he had on he had on ice. They said he had on a necklace with a chain. I'm saying to myself, I don't want my dentist with bling bling on. Did I just date myself? I know they don't say bling bling no more, right? Anyway, I don't want my dentist. I don't want to walk in and my dentist got on a piece of chain. Be like, "What's up, player? You ready to get them veneers or what?" No, sir. I'm okay. Thank you very much, though. Hey, before I leave, though, y'all still got them little baggies with the free toothbrush and the toothpaste, right? Because yeah, I'm gonna need that. Side note, hey, I've always thought it was weird that dentist offices give out candy. Like that's weird to me. Why would y'all give out candy when you're trying to prevent cavities? Like, isn't that like a oxymoron? I almost said double entendre. I've been watching way too much battle rap. I've been watching way too much battle rap on YouTube. All right. Once again, tune into the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Let's jump right into it. Listen, you know, you would think that the majority of the people that's in the sports media world, I'm talking about like sports media personalities, journalists, people who went to school for radio and television broadcasting, or people who just made their way, worked hard, and worked their way up to become a media member, to become a credential media member. You think that they would be smarter than what they are, right? Like you would think that they would be smarter than what they were, especially the ones that are on the radio, especially the ones that's on television. You would think that they would be smarter, right? And I'm here to tell you, a lot of them ain't. Nah, a lot of them are not. A lot of them, if you have a conversation with them, you be like, huh? All right. Hey, nice talking to you. I gotta go. Where you going? I gotta go count the carpet. Yeah, I gotta go walk my pet snail. Had him in the house too long. Yeah, y'all hear that? I think, yeah, you know what? I think I left the water running. I gotta go back to the house. You would think that they would be smarter, right? So all this talk about Stefon Diggs getting revenge on the Buffalo Bills, right? Houston Texans wide receiver Stefon Diggs, former wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. They're calling this, oh man, it's a revenge game. Let me tell you what the dictionary says. And look, it's crazy because when I was growing up, you used to have to go in the dictionary and look up the words. Like you had to look up the words. Like you didn't have a phone, you didn't have a computer, you didn't have a tablet, you didn't have Siri, you didn't have, I can't say it too loud because then she'll pick up. You didn't have Alexa and all that, right? You didn't have that. We had to look in the actual dictionary to look up words. I wish they would bring that back. That way, some of you all could go in and look up some of these words. But they made it so convenient for you that you could look up the word. The word revenge means to exact punishment for a wrong on behalf of, especially in a resentful or vindictive spirit. Revenge. The definition of revenge is to exact punishment for a wrong on behalf of, especially in resentful or vindictive spirit. You know who got revenge, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later on. You know who got revenge? Detroit Tigers manager AJ Hinch on the Houston Astros, because they fired him after the cheating scandal. He got fired. Had to sit out a year, had his name dragged through the mud, and then he was able to get a job back in Major League Baseball as the manager for the Detroit Tigers. The Houston Astros just lost the wild card series, got swept in the wild card series by the Detroit Tigers, who manager is AJ Hinch. That's revenge. That's what revenge means. That's revenge. Stefon Diggs asked to leave. He wanted to leave. Him playing against his former team, that's not revenge. Him playing against Minnesota wasn't revenge. Him playing against Buffalo is not revenge. His two former teams, it's not revenge. He asked to leave the situation. How is that revenge? I keep seeing this and I keep hearing this, and I'm saying to myself, y'all can't be this slow. Like, you cannot be this out of touch with reality. And don't get me wrong, I get it. I got it. You got to do things and say things because you need ratings. I got that part. You need ratings. You need engagements. You need you do engagement farming. But this game for Stefon Diggs is not revenge. Talked to him on multiple occasions about this in the locker room. It's not revenge. He just wants to win. He just wants the Houston Texans to go 4-1, and he wants to be a part of making them, a part of them getting to a 4-1 record. Yes, he knows he's playing against his former team. Ain't nothing about revenge. Minnesota, after the game, he traded jerseys with Justin Jefferson. He was mad because they lost a game. He wasn't mad because they lost to Minnesota. It didn't matter to him. It was just a game. So I don't understand why you all keep trying to call this a revenge game, right? I don't understand. Keep trying to call this a revenge game, and it's not a revenge game. It's just a game against his former team. He asked to leave. Let me give you another example of revenge, right? Former Houston Texans defensive end Jonathan Grenard, who plays for the Minnesota Vikings right now. He wanted to be here. He wanted to be a Houston Texan. He wanted to prove and show to everybody that when he's fully healthy, what he could do. The Houston Texans is like, nah. Go ahead and see what else you can get and what else you could find. If you can't find anything, maybe we'll think about it. Oh, man, we just got Danielle Hunter. So, yeah, sorry about that. So when he played against the Houston Texans, that's revenge. Because the Houston Texans basically said, nah, we don't need you. That's revenge. The Buffalo Bills never told Stefon Diggs they didn't need him. The Buffalo Bills never said, hey, we want to get rid of Stefon Diggs. Go away, go away. No, Stefon Diggs said, I'm looking for a better situation. He wanted to be in a better situation. The Buffalo Bills, hey, all right. We'll give you your request. And they traded him to the Houston Texans, right? So it's not revenge. It's not revenge. And I don't know why y'all keep saying that. Every time I turn around, I was looking like, hey, how do you feel about Stefon Diggs in this revenge game against the Buffalo Bills? It's not revenge. And it's crazy because if you're going to listen, let me tell you something. I know how to engagement farm if I wanted to. I know how to troll if I wanted to. But sometimes you just got to be better than that. You can talk about this game. You can talk about Stefon Diggs playing against the Buffalo Bills way better than having to use a narrative or push a narrative of revenge. Oh, man, Stefon Diggs is looking for revenge. He's not looking for revenge. He just wants to win. He just wants the Houston Texans to get a win, get the offense going, continue to do what they're doing as far as building, getting better, him getting acclimated, more acclimated into this offensive system. And hold on, let me put this up. I need them to take it that way so that the approach is different. Who to take it that way? The Texans? They're not going to take it that way. Nobody in that locker room looks at this as a revenge game for Stefon Diggs. And I don't know if that's what you meant or not, AD. So you might need to clarify that for me. Hey, y'all make sure y'all watch the H-Town rundown. See how I did that for you, AD? See how when you come to my trap, right? When you come to my trap, because you welcomed in my trap. You come to my trap, I'm gonna always make sure you feel comfortable. You can't just come in my trap and try to take over. I digress. I'm still trying to figure out how Stefon Diggs requesting and wanting to leave Buffalo is revenge. You know what? You know what revenge is to me? Let me tell you what revenge is. One of my line brothers still is trying to get revenge back on my other line brother, right? And when I say line brothers, for those of you all who are not familiar with how fraternities work, right? So when you pledge, like when you pledge with a group of guys, you know, you got it from a number one, which is the ace, to the tail. So however many you have on that line, that's how many you have on the line, and they're your line brothers, right? So you have frat brothers who are part of your fraternity as a whole. You have chapter brothers who are part of your chapter. So I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. I pledged at the Eta Gamma chapter, which is Prairie View A&M. So I have chapter brothers from Eta Gamma, and then I have line brothers, right? I have line brothers. It was 13 of us. So I have line brothers. So two of my line brothers used to live with each other on campus. And one of the line brothers took a dump in a Kroger bag, or no, we didn't have Kroger back then that close. Took a dump in a Walmart bag. Took a dump in a Walmart bag, closed it up, went to the vent, the air conditioning vent, opened up the air conditioning vent, put the bag in there, put little holes in it, and then closed the air conditioning vent back up. So every time we walked into my other line brother room, we'd be like, why your room smell like this, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like, that's crazy. Why did your room smell like that? He bought candles, he bought air fresheners, he did everything that he could until finally my other LB told him, hey man, check your air conditioning. Because what happened was it had started to seep into the rest of the apartment. So he's like, nah, I gotta go ahead and tell him, right? So he's still seeking revenge for that. That's because he was done wrong. He couldn't even bring females to his room because his room smelled like that. He had to constantly washing Febrez's clothes. Like, he's still looking for revenge. That's revenge. That's something that you seek revenge for. Stefon Diggs, he just wanted to leave a situation. That's it. All he wanted to do was leave a situation, so he's not seeking revenge. Ooh, I'll make sure I clip that and put it in our group chat so I can get him mad all over again. He was so mad about that. He wanted to fight. My other LB had to leave for a second because he wanted to kill him. I would have too, because that room stank. Jesus. I digress. Speaking of stank, so I don't know if y'all know this or not, but the Houston Astros are in trouble. It may not look like it from the outside looking in, but the Houston Astros are in trouble. Now we got to fight about that. We sure do, Corey. Yes, we would have to fight about that. The Houston Astros are in trouble. And for you Astros fans, it may be a couple of years before they get back to a World Series. I didn't say the postseason. I said the World Series. Because what the Houston Astros had done over the last 7 years was give the fans the hope that they would always make it back. That's not the right choice of words, Sarge. You find a better way to say this. What the Houston Astros did was they set the standards. How about that? They set the standard of World Series or bust. Coming off prior to 2017, the Houston Astros, I think they had 3 seasons where they lost like 100 games or something like that. And so, oh wait, I gotta stop, y'all. Hold on. What? My friend had a white Accord. They poured milk in his vents, and his car stunk for that's horrible. Hey, y'all know what? Because this is also like on Friday, y'all know we freestyle on Friday too, right? It's a freestyle Friday. Hey, y'all could drop it. Y'all could drop things like this. I just told you what my LB did to my other LB. You see what Corey just put up? My friend had a white Accord. They poured milk in his vents, and his car stunk for days. Yeah, y'all could drop all that into the comments. We're gonna read that. I'm gonna read that today. Drop all that into the comments. And so, but what the Astros had done since 2017 is they've set the standards of World Series or bust. American League Championship Series, that was good. That was great to get there. Then after like year 4, they're like, hey, look, we need that World Series again. And I think they wanted to get in 2022? Excuse me. In 2022, they won it again. So 2017, they won it. And then they kept going to the American League Championship Series, getting 1 series away from going to the World Series. And then they won it in 22. And then last year, they lost in the ALCS to the Texas Rangers. And this year, the streak ended. After 7 consecutive years, the Houston Astros will not be playing in the ALCS because they were swept by the Detroit Tigers and former Astros manager AJ Hinch, who got revenge. That's revenge. But the Astros are in trouble. And the reason why I say the Astros are in trouble is because of them setting the standard for getting to at least the ALCS or to the World Series, especially setting the standard of every year you think that the team is going to go to the World Series because of the talent that they have on the team. Now they're in trouble because you got Bregman that is up for. Oh, let me put this. A Bregman who is a free agent. And so my question is, do you bring Alex Bregman back? And if do you bring Alex Bregman back? And if you plan on bringing him back, do you ask him to take a hometown discount? Do you ask him to take a discount in order to bring him back? Because remember, you got to sign Tucker too. So do you ask him to take a hometown discount? And what does that discount look like? Because we know that Jim Crane, one, does not like to give long-term contracts. He ain't looking to give 7, 8, 9-year contract. He's not. I think the last contract that Alex Bregman signed was for 5 years, $100 million. And that's kind of pushing it. He ain't looking to give no long-term. And I think that Alex Bregman may be looking for a long-term deal. I don't know. We got a chance to speak with his agent, Scott Boras, at the beginning of the season. And he just said, we'll address it when the time comes. And so, hold on. AD asks, do you got to sign Tucker? Yes, you do. Tucker is by far one of the best right fielders in Major League Baseball, not just the American League, in Major League Baseball. If Kyle Tucker doesn't get hurt, it's safe to say that you're talking about maybe MVP numbers. You're talking about MVP. If he doesn't miss that extended period of time, you're looking at MVP numbers, him being in the MVP conversation as far as the American League is concerned. He was on his way. That trajectory was on his way. And that's something that you're getting from him. Like, he produces all the time. All the time. Now, that being said, because I know there's going to be somebody who's going to say, well, he doesn't produce in the postseason. Well, a lot of them don't. For the last 2 years, I've wondered why, with all that firepower that the Houston Astros have, why they get in the postseason. And then next thing you look and you're saying to yourself, hold on, here we go. AD, I just said that. Hey, MVP during the season, where's Waldo in the playoffs? Hey, can't you also say that about the rest of the Astros hitters? None of them look good against Detroit. None of them looked good last year when they played at Minute Maid. They lost all their games at Minute Maid. And then start talking about, well, it's the hitter's eye in center field. They got, well, what about during the regular season? Like, I understand they didn't have a great home record, but there's no possible way you could tell me that, oh, as much firepower and talent as you have, you can't hit in the postseason. Let me see what they call me. Mr. Nobody says Bregman will be the best player at his position to hit the market. If anyone should be offering a discount, it's Verlander. Hey, listen, I don't know if anybody else wants to talk about this, but I'll talk about it. If I'm the Astros, I'm not bringing Verlander back at all, period. Unless I'm bringing it, he can be a pitching coach for me. He could be a part of the staff. He can't be a part of the team. He can't be a part of the team. They got too much coming back as far as pitches are concerned. Think about it. They got Framber coming back. They got Blanco coming back. They got Arrighetti coming back. They got Hunter Brown, right? That's 4. Then you look over on the injured side, and you got Christian Javier that's going to be back probably by in July. You have Jose Urquidy that's probably going to be back in July. You have Luis Garcia, who's supposed to be back at the beginning of the year. And you got JP France. I just named you how many pitchers that they have? And don't get me wrong, Justin Verlander is a first ballot Hall of Famer. First ballot. But I'm not paying him to bring him back because he got hurt. He sat out for an extended period of time this year because of injury. And then when he came back, he didn't look good. Like, he did not look good. And so Father Time is undefeated. Father Time is undefeated. And so when you look, oh, I forgot. You know what, AD? I'm glad you said that too. That's who I would bring back. Kikuchi. Y'all know the one that a lot of people say, oh, what the hell? I'm sorry. Listen, side note. It's Freestyle Friday. Side note. I'm never not going to keep bringing up the fact that these people, a lot of these people, fans, media members, kept saying, oh, the Astros lost in the Kikuchi trade. Why would they bring Kikuchi? He's washed. Look at his numbers. Look at his DPVOVA LMNOP. I don't know. You know, all those acronyms that they like to use when they're trying to make an argument. Oh, look at his ERA. Look at innings pitched. Look at blah. Yeah, and all he did was come over to the Houston Astros and be successful. Got with a team that has a winning culture. Remember, the team that he was with did not have a winning culture. Like, they were so bad that they started bringing up minor leaguers and letting them play towards the end of the season. Of course, some of those guys going to look good because they weren't playing anybody. They weren't playing anybody. I'm sorry. They were playing people. But what I'm saying is they weren't playing for anything. That's a better choice of words, Sarge. They weren't playing for anything. So as I digress, you have entirely too many pitchers. Why would I want to bring back Justin Verlander? I don't have nothing against Justin Verlander. I like Justin Verlander. He's always been cool with me. Every time I seen him in the clubhouse, we'd have a conversation. Wasn't a long one, but you know, he never been anything but nice to me. So I don't have anything against him. But like, if we're going off performance alone, the Astros are loaded. They're loaded at the pitching position. And I feel like some of those pitchers who have been starters needs to go to the bullpen. I'm just saying. Because that bullpen, they look good in spurts. I feel, if we keeping it 100 right here on Sports Talk with Big Sarge, live on YouTube daily. I think it may be time for us to have a conversation where you move Presley out of that setup role for Hader and put Brian Abreu right there. I think that may. Now, I don't get me wrong, I gotta go look at Presley's contract too. Because I know Hader signed a 5-year, $95 million contract, right? And so hold on. Did I miss football? Take baseballs out of my wheelhouse, pun intended. Yeah, we talked about revenge, but you haven't missed my keys to victory. So just stay tuned, stay right there. We're getting ready to come back there as soon as we get out of this baseball talk, because I have to make sure this isn't just a Texans show. This is say it with me, local show with a national feel. One, but right now we're just being local, and it's Freestyle Friday. But the Astros are loaded at pitchers. I don't know what they're going to do with Lance McCullers either. Like once he comes back, what does McCullers do? Do you put him in the rotation, or do you let him come out of the bullpen? That's a question. Shout out to Kim Davis from Kim Y Davis Media. Her and I were talking about this yesterday after we finished in the locker room at NRG, and we were discussing this, and she was like, hey, he may be one of the ones that appreciate that. He may be one of the ones that have to come out. So with that being said, right, the Astros are they're a couple of years away. And with the amount of firepower that they have as far as pitching is concerned, now somebody brought up about they need a first baseman. And like I said, my take has always been this season was coming near the trade deadline. If they would have had the amount of pitchers that we just talked about, if they would have had a full healthy staff, they would have been able to trade one or two of those pitchers to get a first baseman. I honestly and truly feel like if the pitching staff would have been fully healthy, they wouldn't have Kikuchi. They would have traded one or two of those pitchers to Toronto to get Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That's just my honest belief. But they didn't have enough to seek out a first baseman who some of these people who some of these teams were looking to trade. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was on the trading block. The Astros just didn't have enough. They had enough as far as talent is concerned. They didn't have enough they were willing to give up. So now, once you get these players back, you get them healthy. Now you can start shopping for a first baseman. And I think that it was AD who said, get Diaz from behind the plate. If you get him from behind the plate, you're gonna put him at first base. You think he's a first baseman? I think that's not his that isn't his natural position. So I seen him do some good things there. I seen him do some bad things there. But either way, all of this is a moot point if they don't start hitting. If their postseason at bats does not get better, the Houston Astros are going to make the playoffs and then be eliminated from the playoffs again and again and again and again. Remember now, a couple of weeks ago when they won when they won the American League West Division, I asked you, I said, are the Astros built to win a World Series? Remember I said that. I said, hey, they're good enough to make the postseason. Are they good enough to win the World Series? And even if they would have gotten past Detroit, I still didn't see the Houston Astros as a World Series team this year. I just did not. And it's crazy because for as good as Hunter Brown pitched, those bats couldn't come through. Listen, I know how the game ended. I know that Presley wasn't good. I know that Hader wasn't good. I know that the bullpen let them down as far as runs are concerned. I know that they took a lead late in the game and they had that lead, and you should have been able to count on Presley to come in and close the deal. You should have been able to count on Hader to come in and close the deal. I get that. But the amount of runs that they produced for that lineup, for that firepower, what were they like? What were they ranked? Maybe third in the American League as far as hitting is concerned. What did they bat for the season? 262? That's crazy. Sorry, Astros fans. I hate to be the one to break it to you. But I mean, making the postseason is still good. You still get bragging rights. You still get to talk bad about the Mariners. You get to talk bad about The Rangers, you get to talk bad about what are they now? The Las Vegas A's? Ain't they moving to Las Vegas too? They like the Las Vegas A's. They ain't the Oakland A's no more. Whatever it is, you get to talk bad to the people in your division. But the way that these other teams are on the rise, hell, you can even look at a team like the Detroit Tigers. Go back and look and see how great they were after the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, the Detroit Tigers was like one of the hottest teams. Now, they weren't the hottest because if I'm not mistaken, I think the San Diego Padres were the hottest team after the All-Star break. But hey, they were down, 10 games coming out of the All-Star break? And they played well enough to make the postseason and eliminate the Houston Astros. So, this is a good question. How much grace are you giving a spotter? All I'm gonna say is this is my last point that I'm going to. I mean, my last thing I'm gonna say about the Astros, and we're gonna talk just a tad bit about the Rockets and then move on to the Texans' keys to victory. All I'm gonna say is this: as soon as the Astros lost, I started to tweet out "Blame Dusty." As soon as the Astros lost, I started to go to Twitter and type in "Blame Dusty," but I felt like it was too early. And now the moment has passed, but you asked me. So blame Dusty, I guessed. I guess. Hey, the Houston Rockets, the Houston Astros, the Houston Rockets. I know. We talk about this all the time, especially when we talk about the Houston Texans. It's just training camp. Got it. It is. You're right. When we talk about the Texans, we always say, "Hey, man, it's just training camp. We got to wait till they play the games." Them Rockets looking damn good in training camp. I'm sorry. We got a chance to see so they they've had yesterday, what's today? Friday. So on Thursday, they concluded day 3 of training camp. They're off on Friday, and if I'm not mistaken, I think they practice Saturday. And then for the for you Houston Astros, Jesus Christ, Brian, get it together. That's right, I said my government name. So, um, they're off on Friday. I think they practice on Saturday, and then on Sunday, for the Houston Texans fans that will not be at NRG to watch them take on the Buffalo Bills, the Houston Rockets will have an open practice at Toyota Center. I don't know how to get the tickets or how how you're able to attend. I just know that some of you all who are huge Houston Rockets fans, you might want to look that up. You might want to go witness what I seen on Thursday. They let us in for the end of the scrimmage. That thing was competitive. When I tell you competitive, like it looked like a regular season game the way that they were playing each other. Now, I didn't get a chance to see when Reed Shepard was on the court, but I did. They put Alpy, Dylan, and Cam Whitmore on the same team. And on the other team, I remember Fred on that team. I remember Jalen Green on that team. I can't remember who the other players were. All I'm going to say is this: Cam Whitmore is a dog. And I mean that in a good way. Cam Whitmore is a dog. Amen wasn't in the game, and Tari wasn't in the game either. Just imagine the amount of people who were sitting on the sideline in this game that I'm watching from some of the starters and some of the reserves. The scrimmage, the end of the scrimmage, it was like, they was hooping. That's all I'm gonna say. So I'm not gonna harp too much on this. I know that their first preseason game is against the Utah Jazz on Monday, and so this is a great question right here from Corey. Is Tari Eason healthy? Oh, yes, he is. I got clips because I asked Jabari about him, and I asked Dylan Brooks about Tari just being back on the court. And we should be talking to him here pretty soon. Oh, yes, he's healthy and he's coming back with a vengeance. He is. Sheesh. Yeah. So I'm interested to see what this Houston Rockets team is going to do. And we've talked about this before. The West is loaded. Hell, the Southwestern Division is loaded. And so they're going to have to everybody's going to have to step up this year. Reed Shepard included. Everybody going to have to step up this year. This is the year that they should take that next step. Like, you know how you Texans fans are looking at the Houston Texans and saying, okay, it's time to take that next step. What did I say the other day? The Houston Texans and the Houston Rockets are the Spider-Man meme. They just going like this at each other. Going like this. If you look at them, their progression from where they came from is exactly the same. They both have talent. They both have head coaches who demand certain criteria, certain ways that they want you to play. There's a standard that they have with the Houston Texans and the Houston Rockets. Both of those coaches demand, but they're also player coaches. So they're the same. So if you're excited about the Houston Texans, you should be just as excited about the Houston Rockets. All right. Let's get to this last thing right here, and then we can get up out of here. I'll let y'all go on and enjoy y'all day as I will enjoy mine. Going over to NRG today. Today I'll get a chance to speak one-on-one with Will Anderson Jr. He spoke to the media earlier, but I get a chance to speak with him. I got some clips that are going to come out here pretty soon on that I did with I got a chance to speak with Texas linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair. I got a chance to speak one-on-one with Nico Collins. Nico also did media availability. I got a chance to speak with Jalen Petrie, who, by the way, because you know that the Buffalo Bills like to throw a lot of short intermediate routes. And I had did some research about it, but John Hickman, my co-host on Locked On Texans podcast, podcast from, he broke it down a little bit better. Make sure y'all go and listen to Friday's edition of Locked On Texans podcast. But this should be a game for Jalen Petrie to shine, because they're going to look to pick on him. Because where are my stats? Y'all give me a second. I got it written down somewhere. Where is I told y'all I write down everything, and now I can't find it. It's not there. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, here we go. Should be right here. Yes. Yeah. So they like to throw a lot to the slots, right? They like to throw a lot to the Josh Allen has thrown a lot to the slot position. I think they have like 66.3% completion rate by throwing it to the slots. And so, but the Houston Texans have the best they played the best defense when it comes to stopping the slots and also giving up big plays. And so what I said on I said Swan birthday. Happy birthday, Swan. But what's going to happen for Jalen Petrie, and what I said on the Locked On Texans podcast on Friday's edition, was Josh Allen is going to complete some passes, some short passes. He will complete some short passes. But after a while, those slot receivers are probably going to get alligator arms, because he may complete the pass, but Jalen Petrie, no matter what you want to say about his cover skills, he will hit you. And he doesn't mind hitting you. And he will hit you over and over and over again. He'll keep hitting you till he hurt himself. And so, yes, hey, look, in the first quarter, it's cool. Catch it, pass, boom. All right, catch it, boom, boom. Wait a minute, hold on now. Every time you throw this to me, this number 5 is right here, and he tagging me. And if he not tagging me, he pushing me into Azeez Al-Shaair, who's going to lay me out. I can't keep doing all this. No, hold on now. Hold on. Some of these catches I'm not going to be able to catch. And so that's the good thing about having a player like Jalen Petrie in that slot position. And so we talked about that. And I said, may get some passes on him. He's gonna keep coming back. He gonna keep hitting you, and he gonna keep hitting you, and gonna keep hitting you. Hey, look, and that's what I was saying too. Shakir, yeah, he has an ankle injury, and I don't know. Is it all? I didn't. We'll get the final one today, AD. We'll get the final injury report today about who's in and who's out. Oh, look, little tidbit. I said this on the podcast last night. Y'all know Kenyon Green and Ed Oliver used to play on the same Pop Warner football team. Y'all know Kenyon Green started out as a defensive player too, right? Could you imagine Kenyon and Ed Oliver coming after your quarterback? They were some big kids anyway, so sheesh. Ian just reported it. Okay. And I about Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver and Shakir being out. That's crazy because the Buffalo Bills are already soft up the middle when it comes to stopping the run. They were already having issues and trouble with stopping the run. So, hey, one of my keys to victory. Let's go ahead and jump into it. As a matter of fact, my first one is offense has to figure out a way to run the ball with Akers if Joe Mixon and Damian Pierce are out. So if both of them are out, and it's more than likely that Joe Mixon won't play, we'll find out about Damian Pierce here in a minute. The Texans have practice in 15 minutes. I'm not going to make it to practice, so make sure you're following the accounts of Jonathan M. Alexander from the Houston Chronicle, DJ Bieniemy from ESPN, Aaron Wilson from KPRC2 Houston. Like, those are the people that are going to give you that update here coming up in the next 15 minutes or so. They'll tell you exactly who they see and who's not at practice because they will take attendance. I will be at NRG a little bit later on today, but the offense has to figure out a way to run the ball with Akers if Mixon and Pierce are out. Now I get it. I understand that Cam Akers had to work himself back into, playing consistently in an NFL game, but now it's time. Like, Bobby, you got to figure it out. The offensive line has to figure it out. Cam Akers has to figure it out. You've got to get this running game going because we don't know how long. If Joe Mixon, who had came back to practice last week but was still held out, and now he may miss this week as well, that ankle may not have healed just yet, so he may be out for a minute. There's no telling how long it's going to take Damian Pierce to heal from that hamstring injury. So y'all gonna have to figure it out. Y'all gonna have to figure out how to make Cam Akers more effective. And if not, then you're gonna have to give more snaps to Dare Ugabawale, who can run and catch he can run and he can catch out of the backfield. I think John Hickman and I have a bet. I say that I'm saying that Dare probably have at least 50 yards receiving against the Buffalo Bills. Now, I don't know how to bet, y'all. I don't be doing all them bets. I'm old school. So when I bet, I'm talking about, hey, let's bet who gonna win. That's how old school I am. That's how I bet. That's why I ain't never got into none of these gambling sites, because I don't know how to do it. Now, if one or three of them or five of them want to sponsor me, I will learn how to bet. I will learn how to bet. Most definitely, if you want to sponsor me. That was a shameless plug, Sarge. I know. But I think that Dare Ugabawale is going to have at least 50 yards receiving. And if they can't get Cam Akers going, then you've got to get Dare in the game. You got him. I mean, JJ Taylor. I don't know. Hell, give British Brooks a chance. See what he can do. See what he can bust up on the inside of that interior defensive line for the Buffalo Bills. See if he can be effective. Let him run through hand him the ball and let him go. Just say, hey, here, go straight. That young man is strong. When I say strong, he is strong. The defense has to contain Josh Allen. Y'all know that Josh Allen was named AFC Player of the Month. Now, he was just named AFC Player of the Month. You've got to find a way to contain him, because for as much as people want to call Josh Allen, how they say how good he is inside of the pocket, he's very effective outside of the pocket. Once he gets outside of the pocket, he becomes dangerous. Like if you really want to contain him, then you keep him inside of the pocket and just make confusion around him. Now he's a bigger quarterback, so he could see a lot down the field, but keep him in the pocket, cut off some of that short intermediate stuff, and now cause that chaos. Now he's looking to try to get out to cause something to happen. If you can keep him in that pocket, you can force him into some turnovers. We talked about it earlier this week right here on the show that he hasn't turned the ball over this year, which he's been a turnover machine. 6 years in the NFL, he got 78 interceptions. Last year, he threw 29 touchdowns and had 18 interceptions. For the first 4 games, he don't have any interceptions. So now is the time. Make him throw multiple interceptions. Make him throw multiple. And that's going to be on Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter. They're going to have to force him into the chaos and confusion that he doesn't want to be in. Because when he gets out of the pocket and he can see and he can make things happen, he's an effective runner. I told you all, one of the defensive players for the Texans told me he gets out of the pocket and now he's seeking to run over somebody. When he gets out of the pocket and starts running, when he starts to run, he's looking to initiate the contact. You don't have too many quarterbacks who looks to do that, but he looks to do that. Also, when he gets out of the pocket, he is. Let me tell y'all something. Let me give y'all a stat real quick, right? Let me stat you down. I got that from Dominique Foxworth. Since 2018, Allen has completed 6 or 7 passes for 118 yards and 3 touchdowns within a yard of the sideline. The rest of the league is 1 for 16 during that span. That's according to Next Gen Stats. Since 2018, Allen has completed 6 or 7 passes for 118 yards and 3 touchdowns within a yard of the sideline. The rest of the league is 1 for 16 during that span. Y'all seen you seen what happened last week when they were playing against the Ravens and he was about to go out of bounds and he threw that 52-yard pass to the wide receiver, to Shakir. Talking to Aziz in the locker room on yesterday, he said, I asked him, I said, you have to pay. I know that every game is attention to details. I get that part. Every game you have to pay attention to details. But when you are playing against Josh Allen, a player who could do that stat I just read, how much more detail do you have to pay attention to? And I'll give you the answer because I did ask him that on camera. You'll see that on my page. So make sure you go to the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. I'm putting that video up as soon as this show is over. But they have to pay more attention to that, right? Hold on, let me see what this is. I don't think it's wise for him to seek contact against Aziz and Petrie. Yeah, I don't either. I'm looking for Will and Hunter to eat this weekend. Me too. I am as well. But they have to contain him. And especially coming off this AFC Player of the Month, you got to make him feel like, hey, just because you were awarded that, with your play, we're going to make it difficult for you this weekend. And that's going to be left up also to head coach D'Amico Ryans. It's going to be left up to him to make sure that it's very uncomfortable for Josh Allen. We talked about forcing Allen into turnovers. He does not have any on the season. You must force him into turnovers. I'm about to sound like a broken record. So just get ready for it. Cut down on the penalties. My goodness. Cut down on the penalties. Cut down on the penalties. I feel like that should be a song. Cut down on the penalties. Cut down on the penalties. Y'all remember the Tom Willis? It's Freestyle Friday, y'all. Y'all knew I was going to be this way, right? Y'all remember the Tom Willis? That's how I used to dance when y'all never watched the Jeffersons? That's how he used Tom Willis, the man that was married to the black lady, the white man that was married to the black lady. Side note, I have been at some clubs, some bars in the past, And I've broken out into that dance on the dance floor. In rhythm, of course. I digress. Cut down on the penalties. And you know what happens when you cut down on the penalties? You can sustain drives. Hey, remember now, when they needed to score, hold on, my guy. What's up, Lou? Tell my cousin I say what's up. Remember now, last week they had 6 possessions in the second half. And I'm talking about the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans had 6 possessions in the second half. They punted 5 of them. When they really needed it, they cut down on all that. They focused and they went and they won the game. That's how we need you to start off the game this Sunday against the Buffalo Bills. Focused. Flush down the first quarter of the season. You all right? You've already played 4 games. You see how bad you played. You see how penalties has cost you. You see how penalties cost you throughout those games. Flush that out your system. Keep it going. You cannot have double digits in penalties and expect to keep winning. You cannot. You had double digits against the Bears. You won. Should have known, hey, something ain't right. And then you come right back and you have double digits against the Jags and you won. That's not the way you should think. That's not the way that you should think. You've got to make sure that you cut down on these penalties and sustain the drive. Because when you do that, you can dominate the time of possession. And if you dominate the time of possession and you keep Josh Allen on the sideline, you dominate the time of possession with your offense. Keep Josh Allen on the sidelines for a long period of time. Then when he comes back into the game, you unleash your defense on him, get the offense the ball back, and then dominate the time of possession again. Over and over and over again. You dominate the time of possession. You know how you dominate the time of possession like that? Once again, y'all got to go and listen to Friday's edition of Locked On Texans podcast with John and myself. You got to be boring. The Texans have to be boring. For as much as these fans are calling for more excitement, more explosive plays down the field. I talked about this on Locked On Texans. I'll talk about this again. The Texans have to become boring. And what I mean by boring is that you have to take what the defense is giving you. They're playing 2 high safeties. They're not going, they don't want Nico to beat them deep, and they don't want Tank to beat them deep. They're playing 2 high safety and saying you can have everything in front. So what do? You get Stefon Diggs involved in the flats. You get Dalton Schultz involved. You get Tank involved. You definitely got to get Tank involved. Seven catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown. Get Tank involved. You already got Nico. You know what Nico gonna do. But if they're only gonna give you everything up front, okay, so hey, all right, so we ran the ball. Probably let's just say they got 3 yards, right? You got 3 yards, right? Now it's 2nd and 7. They're gonna give you 5 yards in the flats. Take that, CJ. Now, what is it? What did I say? 5. Now it's 3rd and 2. You can get a 3rd and 2. A lot of times what the Houston Texans are finding themselves in is 3rd and long, and that's when you lose. What's putting them in 3rd and long also? Penalties. We know that. But you have to become boring. You have to take what the defense is going to give you. If all you're going to give me is 5 and 7 yards, I'm going to take 5 and 7 yards. Because eventually what's going to happen is you cause the defensive coordinator to say, okay, I'm tired of getting nickel and dime, right? I'm tired of getting nickel and dime. All right. So, side note, for you people who play dominoes, I'm talking about really play dominoes, not like Yahoo dominoes or on your phone. I'm talking about people who really play dominoes, who talk trash. You know what I'm saying? Bolts and screws make a bicycle move. If you don't know how many points that is, we can't talk about it. Fish and bread keep the family fed. If you don't know how much that is, we can't talk about it. Dime the dummy, right? If you don't know, Ella, Bella, and Stuella. If you don't know these terms, then you ain't really played dominoes, right? So I may be talking over your head, right? I may be talking over your head right now. And this isn't the show. This isn't the show for me to have a dominoes tutorial for you. Now, if you would like for me to teach you dominoes, because I am a dominologist, they got books how to play dominoes. And the first is gonna say the first page says never play Big Sarge. If you want me to teach you how to play dominoes, hey, hit me up. I'll teach you. I'll charge you by the hour. I'll teach you how to play dominoes. But in dominoes, right? In dominoes, hey, 5 counts too. Oh, of course, when we're playing, I want to get 20. Of course, I want to get 25. I want to get Christmas and a day. Y'all know what Christmas and a day is, right? That's 30. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for the big scores. I'm looking for 15 or more. But I'll take 5 until I can set it up for me to get 15. So, nick them, don't cut them. Fever. I'll take that little 5. I'll take that 5 until I can be like, bows and screws make a bicycle move. Come on now. Nina Ross. That's what the Houston Texans have to do. The Houston Texans have to get in that mindset that I'm talking about, that cookout mindset. I'm talking about going to your partner's house to get together mindset. I'm talking about back in college at HBCU mindset. I'm talking about those minds. I'm talking about old men on the corner with just the little green tables and the folding chairs. CJ, nick them, don't cut them. Fish and bread, keep the family fed. I'm gonna take what you give me until I can get what I want. And so you take these little 5 to 7 yard dumps. You work the flats, you work the middle until the defensive coordinator says, I can't do that anymore. Now I got to bring a safety down. And that's going to be the mistake, because as soon as I see that safety starting to creep down, if I'm Bobby Slowick, got him. Nico, do what you do. Tank, do what you do. Got to play boring. Play boring, it'll get exciting towards the end, because now you're like, those defensive coordinators got to do something. Now listen, before I get up out of here, right? Don't lie. Ain't no other show giving you no dominology. No other show will you talk to a dominologist. No other show will you hear Christmas and a day. Bolts and screws make a bicycle move. Nina Ross. Nick them, don't cut them. Fever. Dime the dummy. No other show. And that's why you tune in to Sports Talk with Big Sarge daily on YouTube, because I'm here to talk to y'all. I'm here to talk to y'all as y'all talk back to me. I am one of, if not the most interactive shows that you will ever be involved in. I know I'm the most interactive show in Houston, and that's radio and YouTube. I'm not afraid to say it. At Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end, if you need to talk to me about it. I'm here. I interact with all of y'all. Just like this. Fish and bread. Oh, the tables are broken. Hold up. Old school. Yeah. Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. Hey, for sure. For sure. Listen, I drive 100 miles because that's where my line brothers stay. 100 miles away from me. Yep. Folding tables. You're right. CJ does want the big hitters, but he's also talking about taking what the defense gave. So, all right, y'all. I'm about to get up out of here. I got to get ready to head over to NRG. We're gonna talk to head coach D'Amico Ryans, and then afterwards we're gonna get into the locker room. And so I will be back here. Wait, side note, you'll see me. Make sure that you are following me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Star Sports with a Z at the end, because I will be giving you a pregame video on Sunday. There will be a pregame video on Sunday before the Houston Texans take on the Buffalo Bills. And there will also, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel at Big Sarge Media, you'll see that there will be a post game video as well. So I try to make sure that at least 6 days a week, I'm giving you all some type of content, because let me tell you something. Now, hold on. Let me take that hat off and just put on a regular hat, because when I had that hat on, I'm sorry. Let me tell y'all something, right? Let's get personal real quick, right? And I don't mind. Y'all know me. I don't mind being personal. I share the majority of my life with y'all. Not all of it, but the majority of my life. For those of you all been around me for a long time, I have no problem. I have no problem because it helps me. It helps me mentally. So let me go ahead and put this hat on and say this real quick. And for those of you all who have been tuned in to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show to hear my takes this morning on the Texans, the Rockets, the Astros, I appreciate it. If you have to go, I understand. But this portion of the show, I'm going to get just a tad bit personal before I get up out of here. One of the reasons why I decided to make sure that I'm here talking to you all on a consistent basis, one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that I came back to doing this type of content daily is because I suffer from mental health issues. And so some of the things I've been diagnosed with outside of anxiety is severe depression, rage issues. If you know anything about rage, that's past anger management. Anger, I'm past anger, but I deal with that internally. That's why I don't try not to get mad a lot. That's why you see me smile a lot and I keep it moving, because I go from peace to rage. And so I try not to ever get to that rage point, because then that's a totally different Sarge. And so of course, the journey that I've been through, as far as my brother passing away when he was 17 years old, uh my late wife Jamila passing away in my arms, taking her last breath as I held her, and then my mom passing away 15 months later on, my middle brother who passed away when he was in high school, my mom passed away on his birthday while I was on air, when I was doing Sports Talk with Big Sarge, when I had the radio show. So one of the things that I deal with on a consistent basis is, and I'm pretty sure some of you all do, if you suffer from mental health issues, I'm not, listen, I don't have a license. Uh, I can't diagnose you. I can't prescribe you any medication, but what I can do is listen to you. So you can reach out to me on social media. And if you need me to listen to you, can come there. Look, my DMs are open. You can come there and vent all day long. I will listen to you and I will offer you the advice that I give myself. And I'm telling you up front, you don't have to take my advice. And I don't have a license to practice. I ain't a I ain't like the fake dentist that we talked about earlier part of the show. But I will listen, because I go through a lot. I go through a lot. And a lot of times what happens is, when hey, what's up, BG? You got to go back and listen to the show, man. This was a good one. I'm at the end now, but what I do is, a lot of times when I get by myself is when it really starts to happen, right? And it's crazy, because when I say get by myself, um when we get by ourselves, when I get by myself, and some of you all think that I mean when I'm alone. No, sometimes I've been in a group of people and I've been by myself. Some of you all will understand that. Sometimes I've been with a group of people. Sometimes I've been in an environment where there's multiple people and I've been by myself. My mind starts to, you know what I mean? It starts. So I know my triggers though. I know my triggers and I know what it takes to calm me down, or I know what it takes for me to bring myself down from a panic attack or anxiety attack. And so when I come on here to talk with you all daily, one of the things that has helped me out a lot is being able to talk to you all. That's why I say whether it's one person or it's 1,000, if it's 8,000, if it's 10,000, I'm here. I come here and this is my outlet. God has shown me that one of my big gifts is the ability to talk. So I'm gonna talk. I'm an orator. I'm gonna talk. And once I start talking and I get it out, and then you all who come in here on a daily basis and we interact and we're just talking sports. Like we're just talking sports and some funny stuff, some life stuff, or whatever the case may be. It helps me a lot. It helps me a whole lot. And that's why I don't mind. There's a there's a ton of things. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a plethora of things that I could be doing as far as work is concerned and for my company that I could be doing instead of being on YouTube and on Twitter talking. But I want to be here for you because y'all are here for me. And I told you all one of the reasons why I do media full time is because I want to be the access and the eyes and the ears for you all. Some of those people, some of the people in the media, that's not that's not their journey. That's not what they're on. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with them doing whatever it is they want to do. But for me, I come here, I open up the comments so we can talk. We can have we can go back and forth. You ain't got to hit me up on no text line. I have the capability of taking phone calls right here from my board. I can. But if I start taking phone calls from this board, then I'm isolating the people who are talking to me in the comments. That's why my show is a little bit different because you make a comment, I could be in the middle of talking about what I'm talking about. Somebody say some of this, that, and other, and it's worthy. Hey, look, let me hop it over here. Let me put it on here. I can get back on topic. I have no problem with that. But seeing you all come here, seeing you all spend time with me, talking sports, and interacting with me on the side, that means a lot to me, and that helps me out a lot. That helps me out a lot. But you know what else it does? Me being here helps other people out a lot. And I know that because I've been told that. So I know that you being able to come here and we talk back and forth, this, that, and other. Hey, that's why, like I said, that's why I put the comments up. Because we're talking. We're all talking. We're all talking to each other. So that's why I put the comments up. That's why I come here and make sure that I'm informative, knowledgeable, and entertaining. To give you those three type of things to make sure that I can be a part of your day and help you out, just like you're a part of my day and you help me out. And I never know, you never know what somebody's going through. So me putting up a comment from somebody that may have been that may have helped them out a whole lot because that may have been a comment they've been trying to say. That may have been a take they've been trying to say on the radio, or that may have been a take they've been trying to say on some of these other shows and they haven't been allowed. And then, I mean, the only difference between us is I have the access. And I mean, hold on, I may look a little better than some of y'all. That's a direct shot at you, AD. I talk to AD like this because AD know that I love him. AD know that I love him. And he know I'll cut somebody's Achilles tendon for him. He know that. AD know that he's one of the ones that if he calls up on me, I try to be there the best I can. Sometimes I can't, but when I can, I'm there. I am there. This guy right here, Lou, he's a barber. Him and my cousin are barbers at the same shop. When I go to get my haircut on Thursdays, and if Lou is there, one of the best guys I ever met in my life. We get a chance to talk. We get a chance to talk about Texans. We get a chance to just talk about other stuff. But I've walked in that shop sometimes and with a heavy heart. Walk in, Lou speak to me, talk to my cousin. The whole barbershop is amazing. But Lou, get in there. We get to talking. We get to talking about Texans. He's a diehard Texans fan. Man, hold on. What this mean? You should have heard AD the other day though. Talking about me, Corey? AD, you was talking about me? I know you was talking about me. But with that being said, I just want to make sure that I took the time right here on the show to let you all know that I appreciate you all more than I think that you all will ever know. And I'm talking about the people who like me and the people who hate me. It doesn't matter to me one bit. Not at all. I don't take it personal. You have to whoa, wait, whoa. Who? He told Rogue to pull up, didn't he? I know AD told Rogue to pull up. I know he did. I know he did. Rogue almost got me out of character last Sunday. I had to say, hey. And they was like, Sarge, don't let him get you out of character. I was like, hey man, don't let this credential fool you, bro. Do not let it fool you. But with all that being said, now Rogue is a good guy, man. And you know, I know it's all love. But anyway, I got to get up out of here, y'all. I just want to make sure that I told you all that how much I appreciate you all, how much I appreciate you all for allowing me to have this space, and how much I love the interaction. That means a lot to me. Now I have to go and take my phone off of do not disturb and see how many people are pissed off at me because Sarge, what are you talking about? Was that a shot at me, Sarge? Was that a shot at me, Sarge? Were you talking about me? Sarge, when you said that this isn't a revenge game because that's not the total definition of revenge, and I'm the one who said revenge, blah, 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 blah. Were you talking about me, Sarge? Sarge, were you talking about me at the end of your show? Were you taking shots at me, Sarge? Y'all think I'm joking, right? Y'all thought that was just a bit or a skit that I was doing, right? Yeah, that's what y'all think, right? Y'all think that I'm just like, oh, Sarge is in character now. He done went from being Brian and being all emotional. Now he's in. No, that's real life, y'all. You have people that I have blocked on Twitter that have burner accounts who follow my account. Excuse me, who follow my account and then will have other people ask me, did I say something? Or this is the best one. Hey, Sarge, I heard you say such and such. What did you mean by that? Where'd you hear me say that? Oh, no, I'm just saying somebody told me. No, nobody told you. You got your burner account, and that's what you're using. Kevin Durant Jr. You've been tuned into the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. Because y'all know we do everything for the gram. And make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel at Big Sarge Media. About to get up out of here. Make sure you are. Hey, listen, if you got tickets to the game on Sunday at NRG, kickoff is at 12 noon Central Standard Time. Some of y'all be thinking that it's Pacific time. Oh, the game started at 12 Pacific time, huh? Oh, wait, no, not Pacific time, because then that means you'd have been there at 10. Some of y'all think that you're 2 hours behind. Some of y'all are on a different time zone. Some of y'all, the game starts at 12 noon Central Standard Time. Put your ass in the seat. Sit down. Be in your seat before kickoff. I'm telling you right now, the players notice. When y'all there and y'all cheering them on, they love it. I've talked to them about this. Get y'all. Come out of that lot. Listen, I know some of y'all be. So, side note, I had an aunt who her nickname was Cooter, right? Her nickname was Cooter, right? We called her Cooter for so long, I don't even remember her real name now. Last name was Brown. I do remember that. But my grandmama used to always say, drunker than a Cooter Brown, right? I know some of y'all are drunken in a Cooter Brown coming out of the tailgate. But it's okay. Get to your seat. Buy you some water and sober up. Actually, Big Sarge, I'm out.
Hard work, hard work. Hard work, hard work. Hard work.